The Silent Witness. It was a quiet night at the city's most prestigious art gallery. But by morning, a priceless painting had vanished. No alarms were triggered, no signs of forced entry. The only witness? A security camera, pointed at the crime scene but mysteriously turned off.
No broken locks, no smashed glass. The thief was careful, too careful.
Shermon Hale gathered 3 key suspects: the gallery curator, the night guard, and a wealthy art collector who had been seen at the gallery just before closing.
I have just one question for each of you. Where were you between midnight and 1 a.m.?
I was at home, asleep. I locked up the gallery at 10 p.m.
I was here, but I stepped outside for a smoke at 12:30 a.m.
I was at a restaurant. I left my coat at the gallery by accident, but I picked it up earlier in the evening.
Hale reviewed security footage from earlier that night. The camera had been working fine until exactly 12:30 a.m., the same time the guard had stepped outside. Coincidence? Or something more? Then, something caught his eye: a wet mop bucket. But the janitor didn't come until morning. Someone had cleaned up something last night. Hale scanned the room, his sharp eyes picking up on subtle details. Something didn't add up. The thief hadn't broken in, they had never left. His attention shifted to a coat draped over a chair in the office. There was something odd about it. Nearby, a painting on an easel seemed slightly out of place. Hale took a step closer. The security footage had cut out at exactly 12:30 a.m., the same time the night guard stepped outside. The mop bucket in the storage room was wet, even though the janitor wouldn't arrive until morning. And now, this coat had tiny specks of wet paint on it. Hale turned to the suspects, piecing it all together. Clues to solve the case. The coat had wet paint on it. Someone had handled artwork recently. The painting wasn't stolen. It was hidden under a fresh layer of paint on another canvas. The security camera was disabled at the exact time the night guard stepped outside, giving the thief the perfect moment to act. The mop bucket in the storage room was wet. Someone had cleaned up after the crime. Who is the thief? Look at the clues and decide. Answer: the art collector. The thief was the art collector who never actually left the gallery after closing. Instead of stealing the painting outright, they hid it in plain sight by painting over it on another canvas. The clues that led to this conclusion were: key clues. Wet paint on the coat. The collector claimed to have picked up his coat earlier, but it had tiny specks of wet paint, meaning he had been near a painting after hours. Security camera cut at 12:30 a.m. The night guard stepped outside for a smoke at that exact time, creating a perfect window for the thief to act. The mop bucket was wet. The janitor wasn't scheduled until morning, so someone cleaned up something overnight, likely traces of the crime. The hidden painting. The missing artwork was never actually stolen. It was just disguised under a fresh coat of paint. The collector pretended to leave the gallery earlier in the evening but actually stayed behind, waiting for the right moment. With no forced entry and no alarm triggered, the only possible suspect was someone who was already inside, and the paint-covered coat gave them away.
Got it right? If you enjoyed this riddle, don't forget to like, comment your answer, and subscribe for more fun challenges. See you in the next one.